Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is Tuesday the 5th of March, and we've just been to see All About Eve. Open the house. Welcome, Vicky.
Hello, Jim Bobs.
I'm following my script precisely tonight.
I can see you're ticking things off.
I am. I don't want to miss anything.
No, that's sensible.
I've been watching things closely.
Have you?
Yeah. You know I'm your biggest fan.
Is this a reference to something that I'm not getting?
Yeah, the play we've just been to see.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So, how are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, we've just been to see All About Eve.
Yeah, we have, you're right.
So, shall I give you a little fact file on it?
I'd like that.
Okay. It was adapted from a film.
Was it?
Yes.
What was the film called?
All About Eve.
No way.
And that came from a book, which was called...
Something else?
Yeah.
Is it here?
No.
It's written here.
The Wisdom of Eve.
Yeah.
There we go. It was written by Joseph Al... Mankiewicz. Directed by Ivo van Hove.
I really enjoy your pronunciation.
Sound design Tom Gibbons.
Tom Gibbons, there you go, there's one you can say.
And I'm going to tell you some notable actors.
Okay.
Gillian Anderson.
Yep, who did she play?
She played Margot Channing.
No way.
Lily James, she played Eve Harrington.
Yep.
We had Monica Dolan as Karen Richards.
Yep.
Ian Drysdale as Max Fabian.
Yep.
Zion Habler as Phoebe in The Understudy of Eve.
Yep.
Jessie Miley as Claudia Caswell. Might as well do them all now, haven't I?
Yeah.
Julian Ovenden as Bill Sampson.
Yep.
Sheila Reid as Birdie.
Yep.
Rashan Stone as Lloyd Richards. Stanley Townsend as Addison DeWitt. And Philip Wojcicki.
I really hope that all these people listen to this podcast and hear how you pronounce their names.
I'm sure they would thank me very much.
I'm sure they'd be delighted.
It's at the Non-Cower Theatre and it's running till the 11th of May 2019.
Okay, good news.
So, Vicky, could you give us the synopsis?
Okay, so it's basically Margot Channing is a theatre actress of... She gives her age, she's 50. And this young lady happens to come into her life, and Margot becomes obsessed with the fact that this lady is trying to basically usurp her, and it then develops.
Very good. Did you enjoy it?
Do you know what? We had the worst seats, didn't we? Mm. We were right at the back on the top row of the top row, topmost of the topmost.
Yeah.
And they were terrible seats, and I just thought, oh God, I'm not going to be able to get into this. We're too far away.
And your feet didn't touch the floor?
Feet didn't even touch the ground because the chairs were too high. I was dreading it. But actually, I was spellbound.
Yeah, I really enjoyed myself tonight. It didn't have an interval, so it ran straight through for 2 hours, didn't it?
Yeah, normally you like not having an interval, but 2 hours is a bit long for you, isn't it?
I was a bit perturbed, and especially because we were so high up. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the story was excellent.
It was excellent.
Wonderful performances.
Wonderful performances.
Do you remember how it opened? Did it have a good open?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what they did do.
What did they do?
They turned all the lights off.
They did turn all the lights off.
Now, I know they usually do that, but they did it like that, didn't they?
Yeah.
That got everybody's attention.
It opened with a theatre critic walking around. He was on the stage, and then he walked around the back of the stage, meeting the cast and crew of this fictitious play within a play. Mm. And he was followed by a film camera.
Yes.
Which filmed him.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about the multimedia thing.
Yeah.
Because for me, it didn't really work.
It didn't work for me either.
It's the wrong theatre for a start.
Well, the problem was, because we were so high up, we couldn't see the big screen on the back of the stage.
No.
And we had these
Tiny little
monitors.
TV screens.
They had like a weird sort of black
Yes.
mark on them, so there was a bit that we couldn't...
It was very distracting.
Didn't work.
And I didn't realise until about halfway through that everybody else got some really good view of the TV screens.
Yeah.
And they did a few effects, but they were all kind of predictable. I quite like the one where they aged Gillian Anderson in the mirror.
Yeah, so when Gillian Anderson looked into a mirror, there was a camera, and then what she could see was on the screen.
Yeah.
Which was quite hard for us to see, but yeah, you could see she was getting old at one point.
And I didn't really understand, at the end, Eve did an award speech, which was on a loop.
Yeah, well, actually, some of when you saw them in the camera, and it was out of sync.
It's either out of sync. Well, I think if it was a live feed, it was slightly out of sync.
Yeah.
And if it was not a live feed, you could really tell.
Yeah.
So it didn't work for me, I'm afraid.
Well, because the director and the designer, I think it was, both worked on Network.
Yeah.
Where they did it very well.
Yeah, and I think it's a wrong theatre, and I could I felt the similarities to Network.
Yeah.
What did you think about the rest of the staging?
I really hated the colour of the set.
Oh, right, okay.
It was like
the same as your jumper.
No, it's not.
It's exactly that colour.
I'm wearing a beautiful orange and pink and navy jumper.
I can only see orange.
There's
Maybe
pink.
I'm colourblind.
Yeah, you are.
Where's the pink?
This is not the right light for it. I'll show it to you later. I won't show it to you later. That sounds wrong.
I can see it.
It was sort of like a real sort of turgid brown colour. Sometimes when it was lit, it looked red, but most of the time it was a pretty horrible sort of brown. Everything was brown, like the carpet was brown, the walls were brown, the furniture was brown, everything was brown.
I didn't really notice that, but yeah, I suppose it was.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
What about the story?
I thought the story was excellent.
It felt very cinematic.
Yeah, definitely. It felt very sort of, what was the thing that I referenced earlier, on Sunset Boulevard-y.
Uh-huh.
So a lady later on in her career being threatened by someone at the beginning of her career. And it was sort of like, initially you didn't know whether it was all in Margot's head or whether the younger girl was trying to do stuff to her. And then it sort of shifted a bit, didn't it?
Well, yeah, it did a bit. I mean, I think we both had the advantage of not seeing the film. We haven't seen the film, have we?
Yeah, but I want to watch the film now.
Well, I do now, but I think if we'd seen it before, it had been, like when we went to The Exorcist, it just didn't work.
There are many things about that play that didn't work.
Yes. Thank you,
Ian
Nicola.
I'm the devil.
And I think maybe that was good for us that we hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I think so.
So we just enjoyed that performance.
I'd agree. Yes, I'd agree.
I suppose the only flaw I could really find is, we know that Eve's quite manipulative.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we don't at the beginning.
No, but she was just waiting at the stage door every night. How did she know she'd get even an opportunity?
She was just chancing her arm, wasn't she? Mm-hmm. She was just so sweet and lovable. How could you not let her in?
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about performances.
Okay.
So Gillian Anderson from X-Files fame.
She was really pretty well good, wasn't she?
Now, when she started, I thought she had a bad throat.
She did sound a bit hoarse.
Yeah, but she really built that into the character. It didn't become distracting at all.
No, she was great.
Yeah, so top marks for her.
Yeah.
How about Lily James playing Eve?
Now, I've seen Lily James in some television stuff, and I found her very irritating. But actually in this, I thought she was very good.
Well, she's quite an irritating character in this, I suppose.
Yeah, so maybe it suited her. Maybe she wasn't acting. That's very mean. I'm sorry, Lily.
No, I thought she was excellent. The other one I recognised was Sheila Reid, who played Birdie. She plays, I can't remember, but one of the main characters in Benidorm.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Now, I had a problem. I didn't think her accent was very convincing. You could really hear her northernness, I thought.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't bother me though.
No, she was good to watch.
Yeah, I think that other lady was out of Alan Partridge, but you don't agree with me, do you?
Well, she's definitely in Alan Partridge because he read it out of the programme. But
I think she's his
So we're talking about Monica Dolan, aren't we?
I'm going to... Shall I Google it?
You Google it and I'll...
You carry on talking.
Well, I thought she was slightly miscast, personally. Or maybe her husband was one of them. They didn't seem a very suitable match, but maybe that was a point.
I think maybe you're just being judgmental.
Probably. But on the whole, I thought it was a very good, tight cast, doing a very tightly delivered story.
Yes, I'd agree with all these things. So I'm still Googling. I'm on IMDb. It's not very clear about
You'll
what's
never
going
find
on
it in
here.
time. So, lighting and special effects. It was very naturalistic, wasn't it? Not really anything to say.
I mean, there wasn't...
I'll tell you what I didn't like as well, and this was more of the multimedia stuff that I didn't think worked. A lot of some of the action, like certainly at the party, happened outside the room, so it was filmed, and they looked like they were all just going rhubarb, 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 rhubarb.
Rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so not listening to me.
I am listening. I'm still trying to find out who she is. Anyway, I'm giving up.
I didn't like that any of the stuff filmed.
The rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb.
Yeah.
No, it didn't work.
Didn't
No.
work. Didn't.
Crossing that one off.
Oh, I'll tell you the other thing that bothered me.
What's that?
They made it like a film, as in the whole play was scored.
Yeah, and you don't know who the composer was, do you? But
Philip J. Dick, I want to say.
It was PJ Harvey.
PJ Harvey. Well, it bothered me. I thought it was intrusive. I don't think
I
we needed
quite
music
liked
all
it.
the way through.
I quite liked it.
All the way through.
It wasn't... In it.
It was. There was music all the time.
Well, it clearly bothered you a lot more than it did me.
Well, it did, yes. So, get half a mark. Anything you didn't like?
Well, we've already covered the filming.
Oh, yeah, we
bits.
have, haven't we?
That's the only bit.
All right, then. So,
And the carpet.
which looks like your jumper.
No,
Stand-up moment.
Oh, what was my stand-out moment? I think it's quite hard to find a stand-out moment.
I've got one.
Okay, go on then.
So I don't think it's hard at all. Well, I don't want to give away the story.
Apologies for the rustling. James is moving the programme right next to the microphone.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to find a picture of the carpet.
At some points it looks red where they use the lighting.
Well, maybe that was the point. Right, my stand-up moment was, without giving it away, the bit where Eve was forced to be put into the dress.
Okay, yeah.
I thought that was really quite chilling, really.
Yeah.
So that was mine.
Okay, well, we can't give anything more away about that, can we?
Let's keep it to ourselves.
Shh, give me stuff.
All right, let's have a break and then we'll score it, shall we?
All right, then.
Audience antics.
They were all right, weren't they? But there was a few people with their phone screens out.
There was quite a lot of people on phones and doing things like that. And you noticed something quite alarming at the start, didn't you?
What did I notice at the start?
What did you turn to me and say before it started?
Can't remember.
There's a lot of people with brown hair in here.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think everyone needs to know that.
I know, I feel your pain.
There was a lot of brunettes in the audience.
There was. Yeah, and they all kind of, our row kind of all decided to come in at the very last minute, didn't they?
That annoyed you quite a lot, didn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we had to stand up twice.
Oh, and I'll tell you what happened to me.
What happened to you?
The woman next to me, about half an hour before the end of the show, decided to take off her Doc Marten.
Was that what I could smell?
Yes.
I thought I smelled feet.
Yeah, and I mean, it made it worse because I know what was happening, because you know how long it takes to undo a Doc Marten.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh no. So yeah.
Well, that was very uncouth.
It was. I mean, I have a feeling quite a few of these people haven't been to the theatre before. Or very often.
Or maybe she's so comfortable in the theatre that she feels she can take her shoes off.
Oh, that is not on. All right, should we score it then?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to go first?
What with?
Oh yeah, sorry, performances.
I'm going to go for 10.
Ooh!
I thought they were great.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a 9.
Okay, because you're mean.
But no, well, yeah. There was a couple of things that I wasn't happy with.
Okay, fine.
Okay, staging and technical, I'm going to give it a 7 because of the media stuff in mind him.
I'd give it a 7 as well.
Good stuff. Right, narrative, plot.
I'd give it a 10.
Ooh.
It's great.
I've given it a 9.
Okay.
Thoroughly enjoyable. Originality. Oh, I've given it an 8, but it's a generous 8, really. I've seen this, obviously. Sorry.
Well, I mean the staging, because we saw it in Network and it was much better done. I know we've spoken about that already. But the state, I don't think that bit was that original. An 8. I'll give it an 8 as well.
Was it worth it?
I'm going to go for 10.
Wow!
I thought it was great.
I've given it a 9. It was definitely worth it. But 9 means it's worth it too.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to really take my time at working out these scores.
Don't take your time.
This
bit makes me nervous.
Well, there's a couple of things we should explain. We did say last time that the next one we're going to see was an American Clock.
Yeah.
Now, I've only seen half of it so far. It takes me a long time to get to the theatre.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see the second half tomorrow.
And I had a gammy leg, so I couldn't go.
So I will fill you in on that next time I see you.
Do you know what? I can't wait.
But
clock's ticking.
Do you want to tell the audience, the listener, what we're going to see next?
The listener, our solitary listener.
Do you know anything about radio?
Dear listener.
Hold on. The first rule of radio is you're supposed to talk to just one person.
Is this radio or a podcast?
Well, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Okay, fine. Dear solitary listener. The next thing we're going to see... Oh, now we put this such a long time ago. I've forgotten about it. Next week we're going to see Follies at the National.
Oh!
Sadly... Last time it was on, we couldn't get tickets for it. It had Imelda Staunton in it. And sadly, she's not in this one. But
Is she alive?
She's still alive, yeah.
Oh, well, that's not that
but I'm hoping there will be someone of a similar calibre, which I'm sure there will. I'm sure
it's going to be brilliant. Follies, is it a musical?
It is a musical.
I'll tell you what, we are seeing a lot of musicals, aren't we?
I know, we had a real dry spell,
We didn't see any musicals last year.
No, it's all singing and dancing now, isn't it?
Right, well, I've worked out the scores.
Have you?
Yeah.
Are they correct?
Yes. Okay, I can now reveal the score. It gets a star rating of 4.45.
That's quite strong, isn't it?
It is. It places it 4th on our leaderboard, which is just below A Very, Very, Very Dark Matter.
Oh, and I thought it was better than that.
You see, I really like that one.
Yeah, I think you pumped up the scores there, didn't you?
But it is above Wise Children.
Which is also very good.
Yeah, well, I think we've been seeing quite a few good things recently.
Apart from the Wider Earth.
Oh, poor Wider Earth. I feel sorry. Do you know what, though? I do keep thinking about it.
Do you?
Like a little extinct dodo.
Oh.
Anyway, do you know what? That's the theatre bell.
Is it?
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Get out. I am getting out of town. I'm getting out of your town and back to my town.
Okay, go on then.
My dog's waiting for me. So, which means we're out of time. Thanks for listening. I've been James.
I've been Vicky.
So the curtain's down, the theatre's dark, and that was 15-minute theatre.
Good night.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.